Hello children, good morning to all. I hope you all are fit and fine. So children, now we will start with our today's class. So here our class begin.
So children, in our previous class we have learned about these few field properties here. What is the function of these field property? So first we will take one quick recap what we covered there. We have learned about these field property. First one is your field size. Field size define that what much amount of data you can store in this particular field. In text, if I am selecting, then text field size is 255 character. And if I am selecting number and date and time, your field size depend on what format you are selecting. Here I am selecting number data type, and here in the number data type your field size depend on what format you are selecting. If I am selecting number, so here so many formats are there with the number. So first one is your general format. General means user entering in the same manner. करेंसी वन, करेंसी मीन्स आगे डॉलर आ जाएगा एंड कॉमा इससे क्या होगा सेपरेट होगा. नेक्स्ट वन इज योर यूरो फॉर्मेट. हियर यूरो सिंबल विल अपीयर एंड इन दिस यूरो एंड देन योर टेक्स्ट विल देयर. फिक्स फॉर्मेट मीन्स आफ्टर डेसिमल ओनली 2 वैल्यूज आर अलाउड, तो राउंड ऑफ कर लेगा. Standard format means with the help of this comma separators, so it will separate or it will place the value in a standard format. If I am selecting percent format, so whatever number user is entering, it will place the value, it will multiply that number with the 100 and पीछे percent symbol आ जाएगा. If I am selecting scientific format, it will place the value in the power of 10 you want to save it means, so exponential means power of 10 plus 3. Plus 3 means keep in the there plus 3 value. ठीक है, 10 की पावर 3. So whatever value you are writing there, it will change that value in the scientific format. So children, according to this, what format you are selecting from here, it will change the field size according to it. ठीक है, here देखो field size now long integer is there. Here byte integer सबसे बड़ा जो साइज होता है that one is long integer, सबसे छोटा होता है that one is byte. If you are selecting standard, तो it will take long integer. If you are selecting smallest size, then it will take the byte. Okay, so field size in the number depend on what format you are selecting. If I am selecting date and time, in date and time also we are having so many format. It means here also field size depend on what format you are selecting. Okay, so this here date we are having 4 format: general date, long date, medium date, short date. Okay, if I am selecting time, so long time, medium time and short time. Short time in 24 hours format it will show. If I am selecting medium time, then AM PM, but second जो होगा that will not show. If I am selecting long time, then first hour, then minute, then second and then AM PM. And in date also we are having 4 format: short date, medium date, long date, general date. Okay, so what format you are selecting, your field size depend on what format you are selecting. Next one is your input mask. Input mask define कि what pattern means when you are taking input from the user, then what pattern it follows for entering the data. Here I am selecting input mask. Here we are having so many different options here. When I am clicking on this build button, then your input mask wizard, your window will appear. This one is your input mask wizard window. Here you will check that so many formats are there. First one is long time. Acha, this one is date and time I am selecting. ठीक है, I am selecting text data type. So here input mask, then click on this build button. Here you will check what are the formats there with the text phone number in this format. ठीक है, in this format. So here we are having so many formats. Like this, you will select the input mask, means what pattern it follow when user is entering the value. Next one is your caption. If you don't want to place any input mask, means general जैसे आ रहा है वैसे ही चाहिए, then remove this input mask. Next one is caption. Children, whatever you are writing here in the caption, when you open this table and data sheet view or design view, so whatever field name you are mentioning here, in place of this, देखो मैंने I am selecting last name. So in place of this, whatever if I am placing here in caption last name, so it will display this value in place of this L name. Okay, next one is your default value. Default means by default you want to place this value there. Default value means whenever user is entering new record, automatically whatever value you are writing here, it will display there in the field. Validation rule. I want to place a value there in the field, but that value must follow my rule. marks greater than 36, name start with E. ठीक है, like this. If you want to place any validation rule, so you will place rule here. Validation text, if rule is not followed by the user, कुछ error message आना चाहिए. That error message is represented by validation text. Required, if I am set yes, it means it is compulsory to place the value in this particular field. Allow zero length, if I said yes, means blank. Allow zero length means कुछ भी length नहीं होगी, zero होगा, blank होगा. It allowed yes if I am set yes. If I said no, so it means it is compulsory for the user to place the value there. And next one is your important properties. Required, done, validation rule, validation text. So these are the properties that we have learned in our previous class. Children, our today's task first is that is setting primary key, but primary key on two fields, means composite key I am setting. Here I am placing two field here, first name, last name. I don't want this ID field as primary key. Okay, I want to remove this ID field as primary key. Here I am not having any field to place as primary key. So here if I am selecting name as primary key, चलो मैं class वाला जो ये data है इन सबको भी मैं delete कर देती हूँ. So first I have to open the table in data sheet view. Save the content, yes. Here is class, roll number, section. Class, roll number I am deleting. Delete column, yes. And one column is date of birth. I want to remove this one also. I am selecting this column, right click, and here is the option delete column. Done? Yes. Now this one is my table, and out of this I don't want to place this ID field as primary key. Okay. Here I am having first name, last name, and section. Individually I am not able to place first name as primary key. Last name individually not allowed to set as primary key. Section को भी नहीं कर सकती. Now here I want to place primary key, but I don't want ID field as primary key. Okay. So here I want to place my own primary key. So first you will open the table in design view. Done. Here you will check primary key is this ID field because key symbol is here. I want to place my own primary key, but here first name individually I am not able to set it as primary key. Last name I am not able to set this one as primary key. It means I want to place primary key by myself. ठीक है, करना भी मुझे ही है, but individually I am not able to set any field as primary key. It means this type of primary key if I am setting with a combination of different fields, and that one is known as composite key. Okay, so means I am setting composite key. First you will select first field and then select second field. Done. And then click on design tab. Here is tools group. Here is primary key option. You will select. If I am clicking here, children, you will look here. Two key symbols are there. It doesn't mean कि ये two primary keys हैं. It means that this one is a combination as a primary key, and this primary key is also known as composite key. Okay. I want to place first name and section as a primary key, and means I want to first deactivate this primary key. Again you will select. You will check primary key option is enabled. Again then click there. Now deselect means your primary key is removed, deactivated. I want to place first name and section as a primary key. First select first name. Done. And then select section. Done. Children, how we can select multiple field? अगर ये दोनों if they are in continuity form, so I'll use that row header and drag किया, both are selected. I want to select that field, that section and first name. They are not in continuity. If I am selecting with the help of this row header, so it will select all the fields. But I want to place there first name and section. रुको एक मिनट. If I am selecting like with this drag, so it will take all the fields there. देखो, it will select all the field, but here in place of this I want to place only first name and section as a primary key. So first you will select first field, done, and place control key from the keyboard. Press control key, done. Now select the second field. This blue symbol represent now these two fields are selected as a primary key, and then click on primary key option. Now these two key symbol represent that first name and section in combination they are set as primary key. So I am selecting first name and last name. Again I want to deselect this one. Click on primary key option. Primary key remove. I am selecting first name and last name, and to set them as a primary key, I am selecting first name and then I am selecting last name. Done. Click on primary key. Done. And now this represent that these two are primary key. That means this one is a composite key. I open the table in data sheet view. Done. Yes. Now I am entering the value. Here I am entering first name. I am writing Adi. Okay. And here I am writing Jen. Adi Jen. No problem, it will take. Ma'am, I am setting first name and last name as a primary key. Again I am writing Adi. If I am setting first name only as a primary key, it will show me error. But combination of these two. Here I am writing Jen, means I am duplicating the record. Okay, means primary key में duplicacy not allowed. Error. The changes you request to the table were not successful because they will create duplicate value in the primary key field. So here, from here, if you will change the value here, I am writing Adi Yadav. Done. No problem, it will take. ठीक है, वैल्यू चेंज कर दी. Here I am again writing Yadav. मैम डुप्लीकेसी अगेन. ठीक है, इंडेक्स प्राइमरी की कैन नॉट कंटेन नल वैल्यू. चलो एक मिनट. फर्स्ट आई एम राइटिंग फर्स्ट नेम. आई एम राइटिंग सार्थक. ओके. अगेन सेम वैल्यू यादव आई एम राइटिंग. इफ विल एक्सेप्ट दिस वन बिकॉज देखो ये वैल्यू सेम है बट दीज आर टू डिफरेंट फील्ड. Here these two are same but these two are different field. Okay, so what does primary key says? Primary key, when we are making the primary key in combination of two different fields, then this primary key is also known as composite key. Okay, so this one is composite key. Now so children, our next task is that how we can create form or how we can design the form using form wizard. So for creating anything, for which tab is responsible? Create tab is responsible. So I am clicking on create tab. When I am clicking on create tab, here you will check so many options are there. First one is you're creating table. This table group is responsible. For creating form, form group is responsible. For creating report, report group is there. And if you want to place query, in my version, query for the other group is there. But when you open it in latest version, their query group is there. Okay, so for creating form, first you will click on this forms group. Here in more forms I am having this form wizard option. In latest version you will check form wizard option is already there in the group, so you will select form wizard. Then when I am selecting form wizard, one window will appear. Here you will check form wizard. Here is table or query, means किसका form design करना है. You will select that particular table. Here in my database I am having only one table. You will select your table first. Whatever the fields available in this ID, first name, last name and section. And here is selected field. Out of this, which field you want in your form? I want ID field. I am clicking here. Single arrow. ठीक है, for selecting single field. I want all the field there. Then you will click on this double arrow. Oh ma'am, out of this section I don't want in my form. Then because I know section सबका same होगा, so I don't want section. So now here you will check that for this single arrow you will remove that particular section. Now out of all available fields, what fields I am selected? These one. Then click on next. When you are clicking next, one window will appear. What layout you want? Layout means children design. Okay, so from here you will select the layout, that what design you want for your form. I am selecting tabular, means in table format, or you will select columnar, means in column format. First field name, उसके आगे उसकी value like this, and then click on next. I am selecting, and next to this one is what style would you like. Style means children design. ठीक है, color combination by this you can change, and like this देखो, first label, राइट नेम. ठीक है, जैसे मेरा लेबल क्या है, नेम, आईडी, फील्ड, ये सब डेटा व्हाट यूजर इज एंटरिंग इन दिस फॉर्मेट. I am clicking on next. Any field you will select. Now here what title would you like to your form? If you want to give any title there, I am writing here HJKL like this. Two options are there: open the form to view or enter the information. Next is modify the form design. If you want to do any changes, you will select modify the form design. Otherwise open the form to view the information or to enter the information. Because अभी मुझे कोई change नहीं करना, I am clicking on next. Finish. Done. Whatever I am giving there in title, it is there as a title. You will mention your school name here. Here is ID field, first name, and here is last name. Children, at the bottom you will check record, and here this arrow represent first record. Okay. Total number record 20 are there, 1 out of 20. This one is next record. I am clicking next. It will show me second record. Next, you will check value भी change हो रही है यहाँ पे, देखते रहना. Next, like this. ठीक है. So like this we can switch between different record. We can view the record. Previous record, जैसे मैंने next किया, you will check this arrow is now enabled. Means previous record you are able to check 4 out of 20. 5, 6, like this you can change. If you want to check the last record, then click on this arrow, last record arrow. Like this it will there on last record 20 record. If I want to insert any record here, then click on this arrow and ID field auto number tha wo. Now I am placing first name, I am placing last name. So children, in this manner we will create the form. So which tab is responsible? Create tab. Then which group? Forms group, and from there you will select form wizard option. So it is easy for you also to remember these steps. So thank you so much for listening this. Thank you class.